Hi, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Liv. Um, as always, there are disclaimers because what is an episode without a disclaimer? They're building outside my window. The window is closed, so I'm in an environment where it's hot for the sake of this episode. But we move. One day I'll be able to soundproof my room or find somewhere that's soundproof I'm bothered enough to go and record in. But until then, enjoy the sounds of outside, enjoy the sounds of my family if they decide to walk past. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, this week I want to talk about 5 things I would have done differently as a teenager. I'm really enjoying these 5 things. I don't really mind if no one else is. I'm really enjoying them because it's really getting me to reflect on what I did, what I'm doing, like just the growth I've made as a person. Any changes I've made for the better, because I always say like, okay, I don't like to have regrets, but I can see where something could have been done differently. So I don't regret what I've done. It's just like, okay, if someone asks me, oh, I'm at this stage of my life, or what should I do? I can be like, okay, well, I did this, but if you want this result, I'd recommend you doing X, Y, Z. So that's what these 5 things are mainly for. So I'll just start off with, I would have picked different A levels. So I would have picked A levels that I was interested in versus A levels that would have benefited me in a career aspect. So I picked a lot of sciencey A levels when really I should have just picked a lot of humanity subjects. Yeah, I mean, it's done now. I would have probably maybe had a different time, maybe a more enjoyable time. I don't think it would have been easier. I think I'd just been more interested in what I was learning. Because I was interested in the sciences to a degree, but my interest in science has a breaking point. Like, I like things that are more applicable to life. So, biology, for example, it does have a lot of like aspects in which, okay, it's about this part of the body, that part of the body, and I like that bit. But then when you have me doing like lab work or research, I really don't give a heck. So that's where the interest kind of subsided after that, and hence why I changed my degree topic. But yeah, that was the first one. The second one would be I would have kept up a physical hobby like football or athletics or gymnastics. Not because I wanted to have like a good physique, because I'm not really like overweight or anything. And I'm fine. Like, I like how I look like. It's just more for my health and the continuity aspects of it. So I was always a very athletic person growing up, and I participated in like obviously what I mentioned, football, athletics, blah blah. But once you stop doing those things and then you try and continue after, you have to pick it up again, and there's no issue with that. I just would have preferred to have maintained a consistency. I'm trying to figure out the words I want to. I hope what I'm saying makes sense, because I try to figure out how I want to phrase it. And I know what I'm trying to say. I just hope it's coming across the right way. So yeah, and the third thing would be to not be worried about friends or being liked or to conform, especially in aspects of my personality. Now, I'm not a weirdo. However, I do know that as a teenager, I mean, all teenagers do it, but I definitely shielded aspects of my personality to ensure that I was conforming to the standards of which girls my age were held at. Because being the odd one out at that time just seemed like, oh my god, what are you doing? Whereas like now, I will just do what I want, and obviously everyone should just do what they want. But I think it would have been a bit nicer for me to have been like that at a younger age, just so I'd have been more comfortable. Because I think everyone has different faces for different times, different people, but to have a face on you, oh my, to have a face on you that's not yourself for a long time. So let's say you go to school majority of the time, you have to keep up that side of yourself majority of the time. It's exhausting, and you then start to kind of merge into something you're not, as opposed to maintaining a character or maintaining yourself throughout your whole life. You're just living, you're not having to pretend. So yeah, that's what I would have wanted to do. So I was conforming, like I don't know. I think everyone just did the same thing, and I absolutely hate it now. I absolutely hate wearing the same thing as people now, or doing things because others are doing it. But at the time, it was a case of, okay, everyone dresses like this, we're gonna dress like this. Everyone has these shoes, we're gonna buy these shoes. Everyone does their hair like this, you're gonna do your hair like this. And even if you didn't want to, or like now, for example, in my 20s, I don't think there's not a hairstyle that I've not tried. There's not a colour I've not dyed my hair because I wanted to, not because I say like it suits me all the time. I mean, I will tell you that it does, but it was the case of, you want to make sure that when you are around people your age, no one's looking at you like, what's wrong with this person? What's wrong with this weirdo? What's wrong with this freak? So that's something I would have definitely wanted to do differently as a teenager. Now, the fourth thing is, I would have continued to play an instrument, and I tried, but I think the instrument that I was trying to play, I wasn't good at. Now, I don't know if it's not good at, but I don't believe, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, I have the hands to play piano. I used to play the trumpet, and I should have continued playing the trumpet because I think it's just a good skill, not because it gets you anywhere. I mean, it can get you far if you want to be a musician. That was not my goal in life. Um, but I just think it's something like, oh, okay, you have this talent. I just like people that have talents and that have maintained their talents throughout their lives. I just think it takes a certain discipline, a certain commitment, and with discipline and commitment comes good results. So yeah, I just think it's a really good thing. So I would have probably continued playing the trumpet, or if I didn't, I would have maybe found a different instrument, but I don't know which one. I was only interested in piano and the trumpet, so I'd have to think about it. But even the trumpet I wasn't interested in, I was kind of like forced into. I initially, like in my primary school, everyone wanted to play the cello, so everyone had to audition for the cello, and then we picked like a few people. So the rest of us, you just got, if you, whatever you got the violin, you got the clarinet, you got the trumpet. So I got the trumpet, and initially I was like, oh, look at you, you have this heavy case to carry. But I really grew to like it. Like I really grew to enjoy my trumpet, and as I got better at it, I was like, this instrument's actually really cool. So yeah, I would have done that. And then the fifth thing is to not have rushed to be older than I am. So I remember being like 12 and wanted to be 13 so badly. And then I remember being 13, I'm like, I want to be 15 because I'm 15, I can go to 15 plus movies and then I can watch anything I want. Then I'm 15, I'll be 18 so I can go to the club and dance and drink and watch 18 plus films. And then I'm like, I want to be 21. And it's like, why are you rushing your ages? I think I never really, I did, but I could have embraced my teenage years a bit more because I'm telling you, they're the fastest things that I've ever gone past in my life. They're not a blur. I remember what happened. It's just in comparison to my 20s, these are going past a bit more at a, not a suitable, but a steady pace. That's it. And I don't know if it's because I'm just taking the moment more or because they just go slower. But my teenage years, oof, free buses, limited responsibilities, limited bills. Like, why was I running for adulthood when adulthood is everlasting? It is a crack that is with you until you die. It's not something that will leave you. You're going to be an adult for the rest of your life. So why I didn't embrace being a teenager more, I don't know. Why I went around wearing that slap of makeup, yeah, that's the only way I can describe it. I looked trash, absolutely trash. I had zero technique. I had poor products. My hair was, oh, my hair, oof. I mean, my natural hair was fine. But the hair I would put in my head, like the weaves, oh my god. But I guess you have to go through that stage. But it's like, those are certain things you can do when you're older and do them properly because you have the money to buy the better products. You have the money to buy the better hair. But no. Thank God I got out of it because, oh my gosh, that was a scary, scary, scary time. Um, because I'm in a good mood. I thought I'd add a bonus one. So my bonus one would be to have embraced my culture, so my Ugandan culture, earlier. Now, I've had this discussion a lot with like my friends and my family. I feel like where I live and the school that I went to, being Ugandan was like a minority thing. There was not many Ugandans in my school, in my area. So I kind of just went with what the majority was. But it wasn't until like a bit later and I started making more friends that are Ugandan and things like that. I'm like, wait, this is actually really cool. Like, why didn't I not do this earlier? So if I went to Uganda and stuff and I'm with my family there, like I enjoyed myself. Like I don't think there's a trip to Uganda that I've been like, oh my god, it was rubbish. I've always enjoyed going there. I've always enjoyed being there. It's just now when I came back, it's like not the same. Same thing with like my body image or like my skin and whatever. I've never not wanted to be black, but I think people telling you that you're too dark or something can affect you. Not to the point where I'm ever wanting to bleach or anything, but it's like to now hear if someone ever told me now that oh my god you're too dark, I don't think it would even register in my head. So I think I would have liked that for myself as a younger person because I think your self-esteem at that age, especially as a teenager, is really important. And then just being like smaller framed, having very small boobs in a society where cleavage is all that. Yeah, I would have definitely wanted my teenage self to have like embraced how they look like because, bro, like I looked good. I mean, I still look good, but I look good then. So I wish my teenage self knew that. So yeah, that's the 5 things and the bonus things I would have done differently as a teenager. Very quick episode because again, we don't like talking to ourselves for longer than needed. If you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. Or not. Like it, share it, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Bye.